Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Monday, 13 January. Sorry, there's no video with the brief today. I'm your host Daniel, and let's get into the brief. So today we'll be covering Zelenskyy has offered North Korean POWs in exchange for Ukrainians. An Austrian woman has been kidnapped in Niger, and civilians have mistakenly been killed in an airstrike in Nigeria. So firstly, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy announced on Sunday that Kiev is willing to return captured North Korean soldiers to their leader, Kim Jong-un, in exchange for the release of Ukrainians held captive in Russia. He revealed that Ukrainian forces had recently captured 2 wounded North Korean soldiers in the Kursk region, marking the first time Kiev has acknowledged capturing North Korean troops alive. Zelenskyy shared a video of the captives, showing them receiving medical assistance and stating that they were under the custody of the Ukraine security services. Additionally, he mentioned that the prisoners who wish to contribute to peace by spreading awareness about the war in the Korean language would be given an opportunity to do so. North Korea reportedly sent around 12,000 troops to aid Russia in its war against Ukraine, with South Korea estimating that between 1,000 and 3,000 casualties have already occurred. Zelenskyy emphasized that North Korean soldiers should not be dying in European battles and pledged to grant media access to the captives, ensuring global awareness of the situation. This exchange offers highlights to the growing complexity of the international involvement in the conflict and underscores Kiev's effort to secure the release of Ukrainian prisoners, while also exposing the role of North Korean forces in the war. So what? This comment was likely made as part of an ongoing propaganda battle that has been the constant backdrop of this war. Though it is highly likely to be a genuine offer, it is also likely that Ukraine has already, or will have, gained any valuable insight from these North Korean soldiers prior to their release. This exploitation is almost certainly being supported by South Korea, providing language and cultural support to allow the effective and timely information to be gained from these detainees. And next, an Austrian woman, identified by local media as a 73-year-old long-term resident, was kidnapped in a northern city of Niger, Austrian authorities have confirmed on Sunday. Austria's embassy in Algeria, which oversees Niger, is coordinating with regional authorities to address the situation, although no group has yet claimed responsibility for the abduction. Niger's authorities have not issued any public comments on the incident, which marks the first known time of a European being kidnapped in the country since the military coup in July 2023. Niger has been plagued by ongoing violence from Islamist groups affiliated with Al-Qaeda and the so-called Islamic State, and instability has deepened following the ousting of President Mohamed Bazoum in 2023. Analysts highlight the political turmoil and deteriorating security environment have made the region increasingly dangerous, echoing similar challenges faced by their neighbour Mali and Burkina Faso. So what? It is highly likely that she has been kidnapped for ransom, as this is a reasonably common tactic for funding terrorist groups. It seems likely that this kidnapping was conducted by a local gang on an opportunistic basis, and possible that they would look to sell it to a large international terror group operating in the region who could publicly ransom her for a high value. And lastly, the Nigerian Air Force has announced on Monday that it will be investigating a military airstrike in the Zamfara province that reportedly killed up to 20 civilians. The attack, aimed at combating extremist and rebel groups in the area, mistakenly targeted the civilians who were participating in a community event, according to the local governor. He described the tragedy as misidentification and the victims as fleeing bandits, resulting in significant loss of life. While the Zamfara government initially labelled the strike as successful, locals reported seeing at least 20 bodies and several injured individuals, highlighting the disparity between official and eyewitness accounts. This incident reflects a troubling trend in Nigeria in its battle against insurgents in the northern regions, where rights groups have estimated that around 400 civilians have died in military operations since 2017. Last year alone, 80 people were killed during religious gatherings in the Kandu state, despite government promises for accountability, including court martials for military personnel. Investigations and outcomes are rarely made public. Observers have criticized the government for its lack of transparency and repeated failures to address civilian casualties in their counterinsurgency efforts. So what? This is a tragic incident and shows the risks associated with conducting military operations near civilian populations. Sadly, it seems unlikely that anyone in the military will be held to account, and the event will slowly fade from memory. Additionally, it is likely, due to the lack of an investigation process, that similar incidents will continue to happen in the future. Thank you for tuning in to the Intel Brief, your daily update on global geopolitics, brought to you by HM Intelligence. You can support the show by sharing it with your friends and leaving us a 5-star review. If you're curious to learn more about intelligence, you could check out one of our courses in the description below. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you next time.